right, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar, How to Trade Like the Pros. My name is Jerry D'Ambrosio. Thank you guys for being here today. Pretty good turnout for a Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It is on the East Coast here, so I do want to do a quick sound check. Looks like Juan can hear me. Juan says good afternoon. Just type in the chat box, guys, that you can hear me, something to let me know that you are here, you are listening, you guys are ready to go. There we go. Steve and Doug both say yes and all good. Phil says all good. Awesome. All right, well, we'll get started, guys. A couple of things I would ask of you guys first. Call them the three gets. Number one, grab a pen, a piece of paper, and something to drink. You may want to take some notes. I will ask you to write a few things down in a little bit. But it might help to take some notes. There's some really good information that I'm going to give you guys today. You will get a recording of today's webinar, by the way, so that'll come later on this evening. Number two, get rid of any distractions. Anytime I listen to a webinar, I always like to close my office door. That's when I was working in the office. I like to just get rid of any distractions because I'm always ready to learn. If I'm listening to a webinar, that's what I'm there for, and that's what you guys are here for. So I really applaud you for that. What you're going to learn today, 5 common principles professional traders follow. Frederick is asking, alcoholic? Absolutely, Frederick. Alcoholic beverage. It's happy hour somewhere, right? And then I'm also going to teach you an extremely easy and effective short-term trading strategy, and I really emphasize short-term, and how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. And my promise to you is that if you follow the steps that we discussed today, you'll know how to identify the correct setup, entry, and exit for each trade. And I've got a lot to cover today. I really want you guys to stick with me to the end. If you stay with me to the end, we're going to be together for about an hour. I will share with you a copy of today's slides. Just somebody remind me at the end. I sometimes forget. Right around, about 20 after 5, here on the East Coast, 50 minutes from now, just say, hey, Jerry, don't forget the slides. I'll put them in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel. Okay, just somebody, again, remind me at the end. Again, guys, this is me. I'm Jerry D'Ambrosio. I'm the manager of educational content with VectorVest. I am one part of a rather large education department. Our main goal, our main focus every day is not only to teach you the VectorVest program, but we all want you to become better traders, better investors. We have different segments of the education department. We have an options kind of specialty department. We have a retirement department as well. And what we're going to talk about here is short-term trading. So there is a faction of the education department where I am heavily involved in, and we teach our subscribers about short-term swing trading tactics using a lot of technical analysis indicators and chart setups and things like that. So let's start off with the title of this webinar is How to Trade Like the Pros. So we're going to talk here about what makes a pro a pro. What are the qualities that separates these men and women from the average retail investor? You've heard that term a lot lately, right? Retail investors. Excuse me. I think there was a record number. I believe there was a record number of new trading accounts opened in 2020. So there's a lot of new investors in the market these days. So we're going to talk about what separates pros from really everybody else. And this segment here is all about getting your mind right, okay? Getting you in the correct mindset, because this isn't your buy and hold retirement minded approach. This is for the capital that you have set aside to trade a little bit more actively. We feel you should be doing that. I mentioned we have an options department. I mentioned we have a retirement department within the education department. And you may be allocating a certain portion of your portfolios to options, to dividend paying stocks, maybe if you are retired or just looking to generate some income. And then you hopefully have a portion of your portfolio set aside to trade a little bit more actively using technical analysis, swing trading. Swing trading is where you hold a position for a few days, maybe a few weeks. All depends on your exit criteria and if it's hit or not. Okay. Number one is that a professional trader is realistic. They know that there's no magic pill that they're going to take that's going to make them better traders overnight. Success in this industry comes with time and effort, in really any industry. Ask any CEO, ask any professional athlete, any foreman on a construction site. You know, um, just ask anyone who's ever been any good at anything, and they'll tell you that it took hard work. It didn't happen overnight. Next is that they control their emotions. This is the tough part. I struggle with this. I think everybody does. But pros don't allow losing trades to affect them. They don't think of the money first. Excuse me. They focus on doing the right things, making the right trades, and they know if they do that, the money will come. Okay, so a cluster of losing trades. You get two, three, four losing trades in a row, it'll get discouraging. What we have to try to do is not allow that emotion, that discouragement, affect any trades going forward. One of the reasons that they feel this way is because they place trades based on facts and data rather than gut feelings. And we've all been there earlier on in my career. I'd place a trade or two because I just knew it was going to go up, right? I had a feeling. Pros don't think that way. I was about to say pros don't have feelings, but they don't think that way when it comes to trading. They look solely at the information in front of them to make decisions. And next is they're prepared. I love this slide because I don't remember the last time I was on a plane, but the next time I go on a plane, I know that the first thing the flight attendant is going to do is walk everybody through how to get off the plane, how to exit in case of an emergency. So a professional trader is prepared because they know exactly when they're going to get out of a trade even before they get in, because they've examined and tested different techniques to figure out which one is best. And lastly, most importantly, I think professional traders are disciplined. They stay sharp and focused when things are going well, and resilient when they're not going so well. So they have a plan and they stick to that plan. Now, what happens if you continue to struggle with some of these things? So what are some of these things? These are controlling emotions, not having a plan, not sticking to it. What happens if you continue to struggle? You're going to go broke. Now, I don't mean you're going to be unemployed, living on the streets, but you're not going to be playing this game too much longer. Losses will just keep building up and building up and building up, and you're going to wind up broke with no more money to invest. If you start doing things the right way, addressing the mistakes that you make and have made, and moving forward to correct them, you'll know exactly what you're doing no matter the situation. So just think about the confidence that you'll have. And once you start to develop better habits, you will start to see more consistent gains. Now, there's a big mistake traders make when first starting to implement short-term trading systems. They follow unproven, complicated strategies. They feel like they need to use 5 different technical indicators and 3 different types of moving average at the top of the chart, and throw Bollinger Bands up there because it must give us a good signal along with the other indicators, right? For some reason, new traders who are just starting out trading this way, they find value in complexity. Most times, that's just going to leave you confused, frustrated. You're going to get mixed signals. You're going to wind up giving up. Okay? What I want to show you today is what's called the RSI-2 trading system. It was developed by Larry Connors. Larry Connors is a professional trader. He is an author, a speaker. He's been doing this for over 30 years. This strategy focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends, but are experiencing short-term corrections. All right, I know that's a blanket statement, but what Larry Connors does is he defines those situations using indicators. So, what I love about this system is that it's so easy to use. It's so simple. It uses 3 indicators, not 7. It uses 3 indicators. A 200-day simple moving average for the long-term trend, and a 5-day simple moving average, and the 2-period RSI. RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. And the 5-day simple moving average and the 2-period RSI for the short-term trend. So let me show you how this strategy works. Now here we're looking at Procter & Gamble from November of 2018 to November of 2019. That's the time frame that we're looking at here. Don't worry about the time frame. I'll explain why I went back this far in a little bit. But during this time frame, great stock, right? Bottom left to upper right, right, stays above its 200-day moving average the entire time, but from time to time experiences short-term corrections where it falls below its 5-day simple moving average. That's the white line. That's hugging price. Long-term uptrend, short-term correction. Everybody with me so far? Now, those are only two of the three pieces to this system. The last piece, or the last indicator, is the relative strength index. Now, RSI is scaled between 0 and 100, with the industry standard look-back period is 14, with the lower level or the oversold level at 30 and the overbought level at 70. Now, this is, again, the industry standard look-back. Remember, Larry Connors uses a 2-period RSI. We're looking at a 14-period RSI because I just wanted to introduce the indicator and show you what the industry standard settings are and how many signals it generates. And as you can see, over this time period, so before we were looking at, follow my cursor here, we were in November of 2018 all the way to November of 2019. Notice the 14-period RSI never went below 30, never gave us a signal. Now, I had to go back a little bit further until October of 2018, where it did dip below 30. Now, that was a good buying opportunity, but it only generated one signal. What Larry Connors did, like I said, is he sped up the indicator. He changed the look-back period from 14 to 2. 14-day RSI to a 2-day RSI, 2-day look-back, and what he did was he lowered the extreme oversold level from 30 to 10. All right, so here's your setup, guys. Here are the three indicators that we're using for this setup: a 200-day moving average, a 5-day moving average, and a 2-period RSI. The setup is price above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI below 10. There's your trade. Again, price above the 200-day moving average, long-term uptrend, but below the 5-day simple moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10, there's your short-term correction. Okay? Yes, Kristen, it is. It is. All right, let's look at what this trading plan looks like written down. I'm going to go through some charts, all right, but I just want to kind of lay it out here on paper as to what our entry rules are, what our exit rules are. Our entry rules for the RSI2 trading system is we are going to buy only when the stock is above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. And we are going to enter the trade near the close of that session. We are going to enter as close to the close as possible. And when I trade this system, I put a market order in. I don't mess around with limit orders because there's a chance I might not get filled. I'll put a market order in really close to the close of the day, 3:55, 3:56 p.m. Eastern time. As long as price is above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. Okay, here's our exit criteria. We are going to exit when price goes above the 5-day simple moving average. Remember, we are entering when it's below it. We are going to exit when it goes above it, not just when it crosses above it, but when it's about to close above it. Okay, so we exit here near the close of that day. So we're entering positions and exiting positions near the close of a session as long as these rules are met. All right, so let's take a closer look at some examples. We're going to look at Procter & Gamble still. And do you remember when we were looking at that long-term graph, okay, where the price of the stock was above the 200-day moving average the entire time? Well, when I zoom in here, and I'm just zoomed in from July to August of 2019, you can see we lose that 200-day moving average. We can't see that purple line anymore because it's so far below price. It's just not visible. But as I go through these examples here, just know that every example that I show you, price is above the 200-day moving average. Okay, so on this day, July 23rd, 2019, price is above the 200-day moving average, but about to close below the 5-day simple moving average, and the 2-period RSI just barely below 10 on that day. So the closing price of that day was $113.85. Now I don't know what the price of the stock was at 3:55 p.m. or 3:56 or 3:57 p.m. Eastern time on that day, July 23rd, 2019. So for the purposes here and the examples that I'm going to show you, we're going to use the closing price as our entry price. Give or take a few pennies. You can assume that we'll maybe shave a few cents off. Look, there's no commission, so there's no slippage there. So we're going to use 113.85. And if we entered then, we sell 3 days later, okay, at 114.73. 114.73. Why do we sell it on that day? Because price is about to close above the 5-day simple moving average. Now it opened below it and then crossed above it during the day, but we don't sell just because it crosses above it. We sell near the close of the session when we see that price is about to close above the 5-day moving average. So if we buy it at 113.85, we sell it at 114.73, that's a winning trade. So I asked you guys to take out a pen and a piece of paper earlier. Somebody do that for me, because what I want you to do is I want you to tally wins and losses, winning setups and losing setups. So this is a winning setup. The very next day we had another setup, right? Now maybe you didn't buy the stock the day before for, whatever reason, okay? The following day, you had another RSI2 setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to show you every single RSI2 setups, because I want you to understand and see the efficacy of the system, meaning no matter when you take the trade, no matter which RSI2 setup you take, what are your chances of it being a winning trade? So the next day, July 24, 2019, price is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's still below the 5-day and is about to close below it. 2-period RSI below 10. So in this case, if we didn't buy the day before, we could buy on this day at 113.15. We would still sell it a couple of days later at 114.73. That's a good gain in just a couple of days. Remember, guys, I said that this was a short-term trading system, didn't I? The average holding period is anywhere between a couple of days, anywhere 2 to 5 days, really. That's the average holding period here. Okay, that's another winning trade. So put another tally mark in the W column. And what I'm doing here is I am moving from left to right on the chart. I'm not jumping around and cherry picking dates. So the very next RSI2 setup was on August 5th of 2019. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. So we would buy near the close of that session. Long-term uptrend, short-term correction. Okay, long-term uptrend, short-term correction. If we buy at 113.08, we sell at 115.52. Okay, 115.52. Price opened below the 5-day moving average on that day, but crossed above it and did close above the 5-day moving average. It closed at 115.52, so we would exit the trade. That is a winning trade. That's a winning trade. So put another tally mark in the win column. Now this is not a home run hitting strategy if you hadn't guessed yet, right? We're not going to get 20, 30, 40% winner, 40% gains. We're looking at single after single after single, a couple percent here, a couple percent there, and you'll see the percentage of winners in a moment once we get into some stats. So on September 10th, that was the very next setup. So we had to wait another month. September 10th of 2019, we got another setup, right? Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's experiencing a short-term correction where it's fallen below the 5-day moving average, is about to close below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI below 10. We exit at 119.88. I'm sorry, we enter at 119.88. That's our entry, roughly, give or take a few cents. And we sell, that's a really nice gain there in just a couple of days. We sell at 122.77. 122.77. Okay. That's another win. Put another tally mark in the win column. The very next setup was October 2nd of 2019, and almost another month. We're still in a long-term uptrend, but stock is pulled back. It's experiencing a short-term correction. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. So there's another setup. We buy it at 121.08. We sell it a few days later. You can see price open below the 5-day moving average, but crossed above it during the day, but we just don't sell it as it's crossing above the 5-day moving average. We wait for the close. It closed near the high of the session too, so we didn't give much back, meaning if like, price closed like right here above the 5-day moving average, but well off of the high, we would have felt like, we gave back some gains. That's okay. As long as you're taking gains when you're supposed to. Price closing above the 5-day moving average, you exit the position. That's another win. So you might be wondering about stop losses. I haven't mentioned that term yet, right? Stop losses. Well, Larry Connors developed this system not using stop losses. He felt that stop losses hurt performance over the long term. Okay, so let's look at this situation here. October 14, 2019. We buy at roughly 120.05 because price is still above the 200-day moving average, but about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. We didn't buy the day before. We didn't buy the day before that. All those days there, price closed below the 5-day moving average. But look at the 2-period RSI. It never went below 10 until October 14th of 2019. So here, if we buy at 120.05, we sell here at 119.08, and that's a losing trade, right? But we sell because price is about to close above the 5-day moving average. So I don't want you to think of it as a stop loss. It's an exit criteria. Okay? There is no stop loss. It's an exit criteria. Okay? You exit always when price is about to close above the 5-day moving average. Now, sometimes that may result in a losing trade. Now, that's the first losing trade we've seen, right? Or the first losing setup we've seen. On the very next day, we have another setup. So if you didn't buy it the day before, you had another opportunity on October 15th of 2019. If we buy at 117.20, because the price of the stock is still above, okay, the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI is below 10, you had an opportunity. We buy it at 117.20, we sell it at 119.08. That's a winning trade. And then 2 days later, you had another setup. Buy it at 116.63, sell it at 119.08. That's another winning trade. So put another tally mark in the win column. So how many setups did I just show you? Okay, how many setups did I just show you? 8. Good job, Keith. How many winners and how many losers? This should be easy, right? 7 winners, 1 loser. 7 winners, 1 loser. Okay? And I told you earlier that I'd tell you why I went all the way back to 2018. I just showed you 8 setups there, right? 8 setups, 7 winners, 1 loser. Well, I figured, showing them one stock, 8 setups probably wasn't enough to convince. So I went all the way back. Same stock, Procter & Gamble. Went all the way back to November of 2018. And then I did the same thing that I just did with you guys for every single RSI2 setup from November of 18 to current. There were 38 of them, 38 total RSI2 setups, 32 winners and 6 losers. That's an 84% winning trade percentage. RSI2, Procter & Gamble, November of 2018 to current, great stock, bottom left, upper right. Throughout that time period, 2 years, 3 months, there were 38 RSI2 setups. We know what an RSI2 setup is by now, right? Price above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. That's an RSI2 setup. You had an 84% chance to make money over the last 2 years, 3 months. Okay. So that was just one stock. I knew that, you know, that still wasn't going to be enough, although that's pretty solid data there. But it is just one stock. So what I did was, as of February 23rd, 2021, a few days ago, I went into the S&P 500 watch list and sorted that watch list by comfort index. Comfort index is a proprietary VectorVest indicator, okay, that measures a stock's ability to withstand pullbacks. They're very resilient stocks. They look like Procter & Gamble. Okay, bottom left to upper right. They're going to pull back, but they're very resilient. They exhibit over time price growth persistence. So the top 5 CI stocks, and when I'm trading this system, I just love to look at CI stocks. I mean, that's kind of the universe of stocks that I look at. High CI stocks, you know, particularly in the S&P. Etsy, MPWR, Tesla, Nvidia, and Enphase were the top 5 CI stocks in the S&P 500 as of February 23rd of 2021. Okay. One, I have not traded options on this, so I have no idea about a winning percentage using options. So I can't answer that. I don't trade the option, I trade the stock. Over the last 1 year, year over year, February 23rd of 2020, all the way to current, okay, across all 5 stocks, there were 66 RSI2 setups. Not 66 each stock, 66 across all 5 stocks. 51 winning trades, 15 losing trades. That's a 77% winning trade percentage. That's a really good winning trade percentage. This right here is not cherry picking. Procter & Gamble was, I'll admit it. That was a cherry pick stock. You know, I wanted to teach you the setup, right? I wanted to teach you the setup on the type of stock that you should favor trading. Those nice, smooth, you know, steadily rising stocks, staying above the 200-day moving average for months and months and months, if not longer. That's the type of stock that we want to favor and focus on when trading this RSI2 system. Okay? This right here is a long-term portfolio going back to February 8th of 2010 all the way to basically current February 19th of 2021. This trading system uses the same setup, stock selection RSI2 setup that I just taught you. It buys stocks on the close of a given day. If the price of the stock is above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. This system that you're looking at here uses the same stock selection setup that I just taught you. There is a slight difference to the exit criteria here. Now, unfortunately, within the VectorVest program, we don't have a way to automate closing a position when it crosses or where it's about to close above the 5-day moving average. We don't have a way to automate that. What I just taught you is a manual management. You have to be there at the end of every day. Okay? Is price about to close below the 5-day moving average? If it is, you buy it. A few days later, however many days later, is price about to close above the 5-day moving average? If it is, you sell it near the close. That's manual management, manual trade management. This is automated. And there is a slight difference to the exit criteria. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But from February 8th of 2010, basically to just about a week ago, this portfolio is up 595% total. That's 54% annualized a year, with 93% winning trades, 215 winning trades, and only 15 losing trades over the last 11 years. Okay? The market, the VectorVest composite over this time period, February of 10 to February of 21, went up 182%. So the market performed really well. It almost tripled in value, right? VectorVest composite went up 182%. We made almost 600%. Okay. Now I know the drawdown here this year was pretty rough, right? This was the COVID crash in February and March. Now this is an automated system. We just let it run. We let it run. We felt really confident. Look, up until that point, we were looking at actually 95 to 96% winning trades. But we did get some losers during this time period. Okay, but look at where we are now. We let it run. We trusted the system. Tough drawdown, 25% was really tough. But we're all at all-time highs currently. Okay. So a lot of you guys are saying, wow, I see the comments in the chat box. You're saying, wow, I've never seen 93% winning trades before. Neither did I. But you're also probably wondering, well, if I don't have time to look at all these graphs, graph after graph after graph each day to identify this setup. If I'm supposed to enter near the close with this system, I'd have to spend a lot of time, right, all throughout the day to try to find a handful of candidates. Well, what I'm about to tell you, it just eliminates all of that time. We teach you a lot of different techniques here at VectorVest, right? But we always want you to be able to do it faster, smarter, and better. Okay? So you tuned in today. You heard that this webinar was called How to Trade Like the Pros. So you probably figured I was going to teach you something with regards to professional trading, right? It's called How to Trade Like the Pros. There had to be something in here about professional trading. So you wanted to learn from the best. You want to try to take emotion out of your trading. All right, this may be kind of your Achilles heel, what's holding you back. And this is it. This is really one of the hardest parts to making consistent gains in the stock market. Okay, by controlling your emotions. Along those lines, you want to have more confidence, because if you can't control your emotions, if you let them get the best of you, I mean, that just snowballs and turns into no confidence. You're gonna not have consistent success in the stock market if you don't get these things under control. So not where you want to be, maybe, but the obvious question that you might be asking is, okay, this is interesting. I've been looking for this type of a systematic approach to swing trading. You may take gains quickly, but you don't really have a solid setup, right? A trade selection setup, and this is one of them. So you might be saying, well, how can I take my game to the next level? You have a choice. You could do it by yourself. You can take bits and pieces of what I taught you here today. What we like to do is we like to give you the answers. Just give them to you. We don't want you to maybe stumble around and make mistakes along the way. We want to give you all of the answers. So that's why we put together this 6-session webcast series called Trade Like a Pro, where we teach you techniques from 3 of the very best professional traders in the industry. You'll learn top trading strategies of the pros and how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. So I hope you saw that if you learn to implement strategies like the one I showed you today, and this course has a few more, you'll achieve the success that you're looking for. You'll get there. Yes, Niall. RoboTrader can execute RSI2 strategy. It can. So this is Hugh. Hugh sent me an email. Hugh is a former graduate of our Trade Like a Pro course a couple of months back. He said, I'm a retired financial services executive, so I had to unlearn what the quote street teaches to start making money. Before taking the Trade Like a Pro course, I found it was difficult to stick with the system since there were too many variables. I never could achieve the short-term trading success I sought. After taking the course, I began to see results right away. I now have a successful approach, and I am much more disciplined with my trading. Now, this is another email that David Redwood. David is a recent graduate of our Trade Like a Pro course, and he sent me an email, as you can see, just last week, the 19th. And I didn't have time to pretty up the email, but I wanted to show you guys a screenshot of what he sent me. He said, hi, Jerry. Wanted to let you know I've done 13 RSI2 trades since the fall and have made money 13 times. He actually sent me an email a few hours later and said, Jerry, my bad. It was actually 15 of 15 winning trades in a row. All right, 15 of 15 winning trades in a row. So here are the modules. Here's the content and everything that Steve Chaplin and myself, we are the 2 instructors for this course. These are the 6 modules. These are 6 pre-recorded modules. And when you register for the Trade Like a Pro course, you will get all 6 of them right away. You don't have to wait each week for another one to be released. So in Module 1, we get you in the correct mindset, the mindset that it's going to take for you to start trading like a professional. We talk a little bit more about how the pros think. We talk about risk management, order entry. All right, so we really lay the foundation for the rest of the course in this first module. Module 2, we teach you a few different bullish and bearish candlestick reversal patterns. Okay, I love candlestick reversal signals, especially paired with stochastics. So we'll teach you a couple of different techniques. Okay, gaining the trader's edge. This is module 3. Here we teach you the different types of market situations that you'll see, the different types of environments, whether it be a trending market, a channeling market, or a market that hits extremely oversold situations. And then we'll teach you, kind of the ideal indicator to use in each of those market situations. And then in module 4, we get right into our first professional trader's technique. Linda Bradford Ratchke. She's done a lot of work with Larry Connors. You may have heard of her. She's written a book with Larry Connors. She developed a system called the Holy Grail. This is for both bullish and bearish markets, and Steve is going to come in module 4 and teach you this technique. And this is a pretty short-term trading system here. Short-term technique. You may be into a position for a few days, maybe a week or so, all right? And then in module 5, I come in and teach you 2 systems developed by Charles Schaap. One called the 50-50 strategy, the other called 80 excellence. Now the 50-50 strategy, I think both of these actually could be a little bit more intermediate term to longer term holding periods, not longer term. Just depends on your stop criteria. And all of these systems that we teach you have predetermined exit criteria, whether it be where to cut your losses or where to take your profits. And then the highlight of the course, in my opinion, is more on the RSI-2 trading system and a trading system that Larry Connors developed called the RSI-25 strategy. And this is exclusively for ETFs. I did this webinar last week. Done it a few times, but I did it last week. And I'm sorry, it wasn't this webinar. It was our special presentation Q&A on Monday. Mike, I forgot his last name, but Mike is a former Trade Like a Pro graduate. And he told me in the chat box, he said, I use the RSI 25 strategy on TQQQ. It's a triple leverage NASDAQ ETF. And he said, and these are his words, he said, I rarely lose. I rarely lose. So this is, if you're looking for an ETF strategy, right, a systematic ETF strategy, not, oil's up, let me buy an oil ETF, or gold's up, let me buy a gold ETF. That's not a ETF strategy. An ETF strategy using certain indicators to pinpoint entries and exits, this is a really, really good one. It's called the RSI 25. Here's a special bonus. So you're going to get 1 year access to the Trade Like a Pro course. We're also going to give you 1 year access to another course here. It's called Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis. This is a self-study course. There will be no live sessions here. There will be live sessions with our Trade Like a Pro course, but with this bonus, it's 6 pre-recorded modules, 6 pre-recorded mastery sessions, and you'll have 1 year access to this as well. So we teach you a little bit about candlestick reversal patterns in module 2, right? We have a whole course that teaches a dozen different candlestick reversal patterns. Okay, now we sell this course. This course is available in the university for $995, but a special bonus for you guys joining us here today. I wanted to kind of throw this one in there as well. So this is Randy. Randy is a former graduate, another former graduate. He said, also sent me an email, said, I'm a retired secondary school teacher of math and computer science. Ever since I was 13 years old, I follow the stock market. I'm now 67, and since retiring, I primarily day trade and swing trade both in the US and Canadian markets. Prior to taking the Trade Like a Pro course, I had some success, but I always felt that my approach to trading was missing something, like a technique or a mindset. I always struggled with entry and exit points, primarily exit points. I thought if I didn't get a handle on this, my returns would remain stagnant. After the first module, I started trading the following week with more confidence and a more positive approach. So here are some more bonuses. We are going to meet live, guys. So those six modules that I went through are pre-recorded. You register, you'll have access to them right away. We're going to meet live 6 times, and I'll go over those dates in a little bit. But these 6 live mastery support sessions are designed to help you implement the things that you learned in the module. Steve and I will take a look at the things you're doing, questions you have, and we're going to guide you through this entire process. We're also going to give you a homework assignment after each module, and we'll go over the homework assignments here in the mastery support sessions. Okay? Also, if you don't already have VectorVest Premium, this is our real-time package. We're going to give you 60 days access to the VectorVest Premium package if you don't already have it. This includes Pro Trader searches, which are technical analysis scans, which are very important in this course, and then the auto timer. Also, another bonus session, This is a bonus session. It's a live trading session. This is essentially the week after our 6th mastery support session. This will be a live trading session, okay? This is my favorite session, I think, because this is where we really get in there and implement everything that we learned over the course of the 6 weeks. We go through things like market analysis, trade setup, trade execution, trade management, everything from start to finish. And I'll talk about the date and the time of that as well. And this is huge, all right? Exclusively for workshop attendees, you will receive pre-built scans that make finding your trades a breeze. I'm sure you were probably thinking, well, great. They teach us these techniques, but how on earth are we going to find stocks to actually trade? We're going to have to go through all these charts every single day? No, you don't. The legwork has been done already. I built these scans to quickly and easily find the best candidates to trade. And these scans will be automatically inserted into your VectorVest program so you don't have to build them. And they'll be inserted either later this week or early next week. As an extra bonus, you're going to get this trading system, this automated trading system. I told you that there is a slight variation, a slight difference to the exit criteria. You're going to get that. You're going to get the exit criteria, how many stocks it holds, the scan that's used, the filter that's used, methods of redeploying funds. Do you replace or not replace? Industry and sector diversification. All of those little variables, right? All those little components of an automated trading system we're going to give you. Remember, this trading system has 93% winning trades, 215 winning trades, 15 losing trades. And it's not only the winning percentage, look at the gain. 54% a year, 595% over 11 years. Turned $100,000 into almost $700,000 in 11 years. Remember what the market did, 182% over that same time period, 11 years basically. But we, tremendously outperformed the market. All right. Most importantly, you're going to get as close to hands-on training by both myself and Steve Chappell. We used to do this course from our training center in Cornelius, North Carolina. We had monitors. Everybody had a station, and we'd be there. We'd look over everybody's shoulders and make sure, everybody was kind of following along. That's hands-on training. We don't do that anymore. Hopefully we will again, but COVID kind of changed our structure a little bit on how we teach. We're doing a lot more webcast online, things like that. Now this course is valued at $29.95, but the early bird rate is still available, and that's $24.95. But as a thank you, you guys took time out of your day here. It's almost 5:30 on the East Coast, probably dinner time. I want to knock an extra $200 off. So $22.95 rate is still available. However, it won't be available for too much longer. This is the last webcast that I do. So we're gonna go back to the early bird rate tomorrow. So we really want to give you an opportunity to get the lowest rate possible. If you are an elite subscriber, the elite subscribers, and that's someone who has been with us for more than 5 years or has spent more than $5,000 with us over the course of a lifetime, the elite rate is $1497.50, half off the regular rate. Okay, so I want to let you elite subscribers know what your rate is. So remember, 6 pre-recorded modules, 6 live mastery support sessions. This special bonus, Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis, is a 6-session webcast series, 6 pre-recorded modules, 6 pre-recorded mastery sessions. You get homework assignment videos as well. There's no searches for this course, and the watch list that we show you, you would build yourselves. It's a complete self-study, nothing live in this course. Okay, here are the dates for the live mastery support sessions. Oh, by the way, so here's another bonus, right? You got 6 live mastery support sessions. You get 60 days access to the VectorVest premium package if you don't already have it. The searches, which is huge. Now this is a 30-day money, not a 30-day, this is a completely money-back guarantee. So what we need from you is for you to do all the work. Watch all the modules, watch all the mastery sessions, be engaged, and we know if you do or not. Within the university, we know if you complete the sessions or not. If you do complete all the sessions and at the end of the course you say, you know, I didn't learn anything, I'd rather have my money back, we'll give you the money back. But what we do is we'll take the searches away, and then we also take the automated trading system away as well. Okay, so it is a money back guarantee if you're not satisfied after the course is over. But here are the live mastery support session dates. We'll meet at 2 p.m. Eastern time on the 17th of March, the 24th, the 31st, the 7th of April, the 14th of April, and the 21st of April. So 6 live mastery support sessions. So to register, you go to vectorvest.com/TLP. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type that address in the bottom in the chat box. vectorvest.com/TLP. Let me make sure I have it spelled correctly. Yep, so I put that in the chat box. vectorvest.com/TLP to register. The $22.95 rate is still available. And here is the date for our live mastery support session. April 27th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we do start an hour before the market opens. I'm sorry for all you West Coast people. You know, we do start rather early because, and by the way, what we do in this session can be done the night before, meaning what we do from 8:30 to 9:30, from that 1 hour before the market opens, can be done the night before. But we're going to meet before the market opens. And I'm going to take you through everything. We're going to wrap everything up. We're going to go through market analysis, trade setup. We're going to run those scans, right? We're going to look at the charts. In the modules, we show you historical examples, all right? We show you the ideal setups. In the mastery sessions, we look at the market, the market on that day. And then we run the scans and we look at the setups as of the current time. So you understand, so you learn what the correct setup looks like historically. So you apply that setup to stocks in real time. And we go through those. We'll go through all the charts and say, you know, this one doesn't look ideal. And not everyone is going to look ideal. The scans get you, this is how I like to put it, most of the way there. Okay? Most of the way there. You do have to look at the scans, the charts, and there is a bit of cherry picking involved. So there's a lot of that done in this session. There's a lot of that done in the mastery sessions. All right? All right, guys. My email address is Jerry D, Jerry, D as in David, at VectorVest.com. Jerry D at VectorVest.com. Okay, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. You know, you'll have Steve email address as well throughout the course. You know, so Dave Redwood, I showed you guys that email from earlier, right? Dave is a recent graduate of Trade Like a Pro, and I get emails like that all the time. You know, not only just telling me about successes that former graduates have, but also, you know, stuff like, you know, I got this stock, it looks like a pretty good holy grail setup. What do you think? All right. You know, so your education doesn't stop after the course is over. You'll have my email address and Steve's. You can continue to keep in touch after the course is over. I actually put the slides in the handout section. Thank you for reminding me. So in the handout section, you should see it says TLP slides. It's a PDF, and it'll be the slides that I used here today. All right, folks. You guys have a great rest of your evening. I really look forward to working with you. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, jerryd at VectorVest.com. We begin in a few weeks. So what's today? Today's the 2nd. Our first live mastery support session isn't until Wednesday the 17th. So we have plenty of time. Remember, once you register, the searches will be put in your program either later this week or late next week. All right. You're welcome, Niall. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see everybody soon. Look forward to working with you. Take care, folks.